Hey, what's up guys, it's SS Modern Warfare here, Gamertag Banjo Chicken, and welcome to Jtag Tutorials episode 20. In this tutorial I'm going to be showing you guys how to change a key vault on your console. Now, the thing about key vaults, for people who don't know what they are, basically they're a file that is on your NAND, and it's what Microsoft used to ban your console. So whenever you get a console ban, it's the key vault file that gets banned. So on a retail console, once the console's console banned, that's it. There's no way of unbanning yourself. But on a Jtag, we can edit the NAND. We can replace a banned key vault with a unbanned key vault from a console that isn't banned, and then we can get that Jtag console unbanned from Xbox Live. Now, obviously, this tutorial is a lead up to the Xbox Live Stealth emulated tutorial, which will be on episode 21, which shows you how to bypass Xbox Live so they don't ban you instantly, so that you can get online with your Jtag. So there's multiple ways to replace a KV now. Back when I used to do it a year ago, it was just had to flash the key vault onto your NAND and then flash the NAND onto the console. But now apparently you can just stick a key vault in the root of your hard drive and Xbox Live Stealth will use it. So you're not actually, your console does not actually have a new key vault, but what's happening, I believe what's happening, could be wrong about this, but my guess is that Xbox Live Stealth emulated kind of spoofs that KV that's on the root of your hard drive. So Microsoft think that you're using that key vault when in reality actually your console is not using that same key vault. So I will show you how to do both ways, just in case a new bypass comes out, like a free bypass that does not use the same method that Xbox Live Stealth does with the key vaults in the root of the hard drive. Then you should know how, well, you should need to know anyway how to actually put a key vault onto your NAND so your console is using a different key vault. So I'll show you both ways. So again, like I said, the easy way is to just put it on the root of your hard drive. If you're using Xbox Live Stealth emulated, that is all you have to do. So I'll just bring up FileZilla here so I can connect through FTP. So I'll just connect to my Jtag, go to HDD1. I've already got it in here, but the idea is whoever you buy the key vault off, they should give you a kv.bin or something along that line, kv.bin or kv_deck.bin and a CPU key.bin. And then what you want to do with those, if I just head over to my desktop, you want to do with these is locate them, kv.bin and the CPU key.bin, and you just want to put them in the root of HDD1. And then when you go on Xbox Live Stealth, it will use that key vault file. It will spoof that key vault file for you so you can get on Xbox Live. That's all you have to do. Simple as that. Now, if you've got a key vault from a console, an older console that isn't banned, rather than buying it off a key vault seller, then you may not have a CPU key.bin file. This can be a problem. Or people seem to think it's a problem. I see lots of posts of people saying like, how do I get my CPU key.bin? I have the KV but I need a CPU key.bin. Where do I get it from? Do I get it off the NAND or what? Actually no, all you need is the key vault associated, not the key vault, the CPU key associated with the NAND. So however you got the kv.deck from the old console, you should have the CPU key for that console to get the kv_deck to decrypt it. So you need to have the key vault. Why do I keep saying that? Sorry, you need to have the CPU key. You're getting mixed up between CPU key and key vault for some odd reason. But you need to have the CPU key associated with the key vault file. So, and I'll show you how to easily create a CPU key.bin. All you do is open a text document, paste the CPU key in here. Obviously I don't have one copied, but just pretend that that's the CPU key for this key vault file. So I paste the CPU key into the text document, no other text, just the CPU key, and then you just file, save as, call it CPU key.bin, and then save it to all files. And that's it, you've created the CPU key.bin. Simple as that. As long as it's using the correct CPU key for that key vault, put it on the root of your hard drive, both files, and Xbox Live Stealth Emulated should use it. So that's all you've got to do for that, and yeah, it's really that simple for Xbox Live Stealth Emulated. A bit more complicated though if we're going to flash it onto the NAND, so our console is actually using a separate key vault, different key vault from what it was using. What we're going to need is Flash 360. So I'll put the link in the description. You just want to download this, and then you want to stick it on your root of the hard drive, I would suggest. You can run it off external device. Actually no, probably is better just to run it off a USB stick, because it backs up your NAND to the USB stick if you do it that way, and you can just copy it over, unless you're using FTP, in which case it doesn't really matter. So when you have it downloaded, just transfer it over to your console, whichever way you want. You want to just stick it on a USB stick, plug it into the console, or transfer it over FTP or Xbox 360 Neighborhood, whichever works best for you. And now I'll go over to the console and show you what you have to do from there. Alright guys, once we've got the console booted up, you want to start up Flash 360. I have it added to my homebrew apps, but I mean you can run it off XEX menu. So start up Flash 360, you should get a blue screen, and you want to press X to back up current NAND to file, press A to save entire NAND to file, and this could take a while depending on how big your NAND is. Some NAND's 16 megabytes like mine, others can be 256 meg or 512 meg. So press any key to continue once it's done, back to return, and back to exit application. And that is all you have to do. I'd recommend going on XEX menu and just checking to make sure it has backed up the NAND. So go to your Flash 360 folder, and you should now see a flash dmp.bin file in there, which is your NAND backup. And that's it. All you got to do is transfer this NAND flash, this flash dump.bin. You just got to transfer that back over to the computer using FTP, USB stick, whichever. And yeah, we'll go back over to the computer and show you what you have to do from there. Okay guys, back on the computer now. Here's the flash dump file. It's on the Jtag. Just transfer that over. So here we go. Now what we're going to do is open up 360 Flash tool. Like I said, this tool will be in the description, so just click the description to download it. Go to settings and go to keys and paste your CPU key in here. I have it already entered, but you're going to put your CPU key in here. If you don't know what your CPU key is, then you're going to have to find it, and you can find it by loading up Zell on your console. By booting the console up through the eject button, it will bring you to Zell, and it brings up a load of text, but you should see it will bring up a CPU key and DVD key. Copy that CPU key. If you bought your Jtag from somebody, then they may have given you the CPU key on like a CD or something. So load up that CD and copy the CPU key and paste it in here. So once you have your CPU key in here, you can click OK, and it's ready to open your NAND. So open file, open the flash dump file that you backed up with Flash 360, and it opens up your flash dump file and gives you a bunch of information. Tells you what dash kernel you're on over here, and it's got your KV info here. Now here's the current info, and this is important. KV type 2. There's type 1 KVs and type 2 KVs. They are not compatible with each other. If you have a type 2 KV on your NAND like I do, and you get a type 1 KV, unban type 1, and you replace the KV here with a type 1 and try and flash that on, your console will not boot up. You need to have the correct KV type. So, you know, if it's a type 2 KV that your NAND has on it originally, then the only KV that's going to work is going to be another type 2 KV. And the same thing with type 1. So it's got all the information in here. As you can see, manufacture date 06/14/2010 gives you the console ID, the serial, the region, and the DVD drive or OSIG, and the DVD key. So what I would do is copy the DVD key, and now you're going to go and click on Import Key Vault and open up the key vault that you got, whether you bought one or one from another console that you're wanting to put on, and then click OK. And then it's going to ask you someplace to save it, and I'm going to call it UPD Flash and save it. And that's that done. Now what you want to do is reopen your the UPD Flash that you just saved, and you should see the KV info changes. It's still a type 2 KV, different manufacture date, different console ID, different serial, different region, different OS. Oh, is it? I think that's the same OSIG but a different DVD key. So that's fine at the moment. Now the problem with this right now is the DVD drive's not going to work. Now, does this matter? It's a Jtag, not really. If you've got your Jtag online, you'll be booting your games from a hard drive anyway. But still, if you're going to keep this KV on your console for a long time, you may want to have your DVD drive working in your console. So to get the DVD drive to work, you're going to click Patch button, and then you're going to go down to Patch Key Vault, and this is all your DVD drive stuff. So if you remember, my original key vault was PAL EU because I'm from the United Kingdom, so the console is British console, so it's PAL EU for me, whereas this KV is obviously taken from a US console. And the DVD key is different, so that's why I said copy the original one from the previous KV, so I can paste it in here. Now my DVD drive should work. Now for some reason it does not have a DG4S, so I'm still unsure what to do here, whether just to do a 2S and hope that it works, or non-drive info / unspoofed. I might just see what happens if I just leave it blank at the moment and click OK. And now I'm going to just put it in KV backup UPD or upd flash UPD flash .bin. And now open that up again. Perfect. So it still kept my DG16D4S in the OSIG if I just left it blank, but it's now changed the region back to PAL EU, and it's got my correct DVD key in here. So now my DVD drive will work with this key vault, and yeah, the console should work normally. If you've got a different drive info, like say your old KV had like a say your original KV had like a DG16D2S drive in here, and the new KV has a Philips BenQ, then what you would do is obviously just select the correct OSIG that the original KV was and click OK. But I didn't need to do that because it was a DG4S and the new KV was also a DG4S, so I could just leave it blank and it would keep the same OSIG in there. And that is all you have to do. Now you've just got to flash this back onto the console and it should all be good. So I'll show you guys how to do that. So I'm just going to open up my FileZilla again, and I'll keep the flash dump file as a backup just in case the NAND flash is corrupted or the console doesn't boot. Then you're going to I would definitely suggest you keep the original backup file just in case. So let's connect to the Jtag. I'll put this on the other screen. I know you can't see that, but you get the idea. So we go to USB 0 and scroll down to flash 360. There's the flash dump file. I'm going to delete it out of there and drag my UPD flash file into it, ready to be flashed onto the NAND. So now I'll take you back over to the console and show you how to flash it onto the NAND, and that'll be it done, hopefully. Okay guys, back onto the console now, and just to show you, first of all, if I go back to the original dashboard by dashboarding, holding down right bumper, and I head over to console settings and then go down to system info, yes, system info, and we've got console serial number. So keep an eye on that serial number. Well, obviously don't remember it, but you get the idea. There's the console serial number 10530050250 and the console ID. When we flash a new KV onto the console, these numbers should change. So just take a note of that, and we'll go and try and flash our UPD flash file that we put the new KV on. I'm going to try and flash that onto the NAND, and hopefully that will work. So head over to my homebrew apps, and I'll head over to Flash 360. And if you've watched my episode 10 tutorial on updating the NAND to a new dashboard, there is a slight difference with this one. So what we're going to do is to write upd flash.bin to NAND. And then you've got raw flash with keeping current KV config A. Now that is what we did with episode 10 when updating the new console, but because we're putting a different KV on, we're going to press B, so without keeping current KV config, and it is going to give you some stuff like key vault, encrypted data check, mismatch, flashing incorrect / invalid key vault is bad. Ignore this, okay? So we're going to press start button to ignore and continue. And that's going to say your current NAND is not 0 paired, blah 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 blah. You may not have that message, but even if you do, it's fine. So press A button to retest, or start button to ignore and continue. So we're going to start button to ignore and continue, and finally press A to begin the writing of the NAND. We're just going to let this write. Okay, finished, and press any button to continue. Then press back to return to main menu and back to shut down. A lot of people use raw flash for KVs, but I see nothing wrong with Flash 360. So once it's shut down, I know you're getting a black screen right now, but bear with me. What you're going to do is unplug the power cord in the console so that you let the NAND chip cool down a bit. And really you should have it unplugged from, I don't know, people say different times, 30 to 60 seconds, sometimes 10 seconds is short enough to let it cool down. So I'm only going to do it for a few seconds so that you guys aren't looking at a black screen for too long. I'll plug my power cable back in. I have a Cygnus chip, so I'm going to turn the Cygnus chip off and back on. I think you should do that with a Demon chip as well. And then start the console back up. And if you had a successful NAND flash, then it should boot up normally. If you've had a bad NAND flash, it may not boot up at all. If you've got like a type 1 KV and it's supposed to be a type 2 KV on your NAND, then it will not boot up. And if you've got a corrupted NAND flash with bad blocks or something like that, then you may get Christmas lights on the console. But Zell should still work, so you can reflash the backup one with raw flash in Zell if that does happen. With my console being a Cygnus, it takes a long time to boot up anyway. But I can tell it is trying to glitch because I can see the green light flashing. Because if you've got a wrong KV type on your console, the green light on the Cool Runner chip will only flash once and it'll stay red after that and not try and glitch up again. There we go. I think when you flash a new KV, the dash launch becomes uninstalled. Yeah. So it should just boot you back into the normal dashboard rather than dash launch. You have to reinstall dash launch again. Oh, or not. Not this time for some reason. Okay. So to test to see if the key vault has changed, I'm going to go to System on the normal dash and Console Settings, System Info, and as you can see there's a different serial number on there now and a different console ID. So that is how you fully change a key vault on your console, and the previous way I showed you as well by putting it on the root of the hard drive to allow Xbox Live Stealth Emulated to spoof it. That's how you do it, that's how you replace a key vault. So next tutorial will be installing Xbox Live Stealth Emulated, and yeah, so we'll be installing Xbox Live Stealth Emulated in the next tutorial. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, then please leave a like, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and leave a comment if you have any questions, and I will see you guys in my next video. Yeah.